Device. Menu. Also, Theo Cass, Elijah Bino, Dioscopa, Grand Black, DJ Biggest from St. Martin, Prince Wallings and more. Partners include Digicel, TVS Radio Court, Q95 FM, The Big Station, Deepex, Fine Foods Inc. and more. Purchase tickets from Moonshine Pharmacy, Deepex Scholar Lab from now until June 30 at $40. July 1st to July 14th at $50. More at the door. Device live in concert, July 14th at the Strip, Manchester.
Welcome to Q95's Lunchtime News Update for today, Wednesday, June 28th, 2017, brought to you compliments Fresh Vitamins.
At Fresh Vitamins, we've got everything you need for health and well-being. We carry a wide range of all-natural sports nutrition and health supplements, plus gluten-free and organic foods, all from quality brands, including Solaray, Cal, Bob's Red Mill, Nature's Way, Source Naturals, and Desire Way. Fresh Vitamins has 2 convenient locations. We're at number 7, Great George Street, Roseau, and we're in Portsmouth, inside IGA Whitchurch Supermarket. Join our discount club and save up to 20% every day on your purchases. Like us on Facebook to stay informed about our products and specials. Come into Fresh Vitamins today and get healthy.
Welcome back. In local news, another charge of murder has been preferred against Patrickson Moses, better known as Gravity, of Kings Hill. On Tuesday, June 27th, Moses was charged with the alleged murder of Flavian Bellot. Bellot was met in a semi-conscious state on Riverbank, Roseau, with multiple wounds to his head and face. He was transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, but soon after succumbed to his injuries. In other news, Win Air, the national carrier of St. Martin this month, started services to Haiti and Curacao. Flights are being operated twice a week on Tuesday and Saturday. They depart from Curacao for St. Martin and on to Haiti before returning to Curacao via St. Martin. Win Air is the only airline serving the St. Martin, Haiti, St. Martin route. Win Air said the flights were timed to connect with all its existing destinations. And Japan's Vanilla Air has apologized after a wheelchair user was forced to crawl up a set of stairs to the plane. Hideto Kijima had boarded with the help of friends on his outbound flight, but on the return leg from the island of Amami, airline employees told him that for safety reasons he would not be allowed to board if he could not climb the stairs without assistance. In response, Mr. Kijima left his wheelchair and pulled himself up the stairs with his arms. Mr. Kijima is an experienced traveler who has been to more than 200 airports in 158 countries since he was paralyzed from the waist down in a school rugby accident in 1990. Vanilla Air, a budget airline subsidiary of All Nippon Airways, has apologized for the incident and announced new measures to aid wheelchair users at the airport. The company's website now says that while it cannot provide a boarding bridge at Amami Airport, it will now provide a special chair for the purpose. And this concludes your Lunchtime News Update, brought to you compliments Fresh Vitamins. I'm Linda Martin. Do join us again at 4 for the Prime Evening News Update. Good afternoon.
At Fresh Vitamins, we've got everything you need for health and well-being. We carry a wide range of all-natural sports nutrition and health supplements, plus gluten-free and organic foods, all from quality brands, including Solaray, Cal, Bob's Red Mill, Nature's Way, Source Naturals, and Desire Way. Fresh Vitamins has 2 convenient locations. We're at number 7, Great George Street, Roseau, and we're in Portsmouth, inside IGA Whitchurch Supermarket. Join our discount club and save up to 20% every day on your purchases. Like us on Facebook to stay informed about our products and specials. Come into Fresh Vitamins today and get healthy.
Get your automobile service done at Astafans Auto Center in Canefield. Professional, reliable service for air conditioning, diagnostics, and repair, electronic wheel alignment, brake, rotor, and drum shaping, tire changing, wheel balancing, suspension checks, and repair. Full diagnostics reports, including the resetting of engine check lights, multi-point service with oil and filter change, battery and charging system checks, brake flush, automobile spray paint and accessories, major and minor mechanical repairs. Call Astafans Auto Center at 255-2789. Services are available to all make and model vehicles on island. Terms and conditions apply.
Caribbean Hype 247
Global International Passport to Soca Music. Saturday, July 1st, and it all kicks off at 8 p.m. Performing live. Major Mystic. Hype DJ. Also on the lineup, DJ C. Your band. Triple K International. The first Serenade band. Performing straight from Trinidad. Traveling the voice. Lyrical. GBM Neutral. And from Barbados, Hyper Sound. This is one event you don't want to miss for the summer. Saturday, July 1st. Tickets cost $30 in advance. $40 at the door. Ultimate VIP cost $200. Get your tickets today at the Whitchurch main office. Real beer is the Carib. Fun, entertainment, music, love. Carib beer 246. Drink responsibly. Your Soca passport. See you there.
I can't predict the future, so I'm taking this full flight. That's why I live it for tonight.
It's hurricane season. Now is the time to get prepared. Ensure that your disaster-ready kit is up to date. Keep identification and money close. Educate your family on an evacuation plan. Prepare your family and ensure their safety. Remember, disasters don't know time, so be prepared.
LA Jupini Hardware /down summer sale on blenders, kaleidoscope paints, popcorn makers, cutlery sets, cast iron cookware, bakeware, spice racks, rice cookers, glass bowl sets, bathroom faucets, irons, and so much more. 2 days only. Preview on Thursday 29th and shop Friday June 30th and Saturday July 1st for huge savings. Up to 50% off on marked items while stocks last. LA Jupini Hardware on Long Lane in Roseau. Slashing prices just for you. Slash.
Interesting news there on the block, huh? Talk on the block. Popular Gravity on the block, charged with another, you heard right, another murder. Let's listen to the public relations officer.
On Thursday, the 18th of May 2017, an injured Flavian Bellot, male adult of Galion, was discovered on a riverbank in Roseau in the vicinity of an area locally known as Washington. Bellot was transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he was medically examined and subsequently pronounced dead by a medical doctor. A coroner's inquest was convened and police commenced investigations into the circumstances surrounding the death of Flavian Bellot. The police have since ended investigations And on Tuesday, the 27th of June 2017, Patrick St. Moses, better known as Gravity of Kings Hill, was charged with the alleged murder of Flavian Bellot. This is the second charge of murder preferred against Patrick St. Moses.
Wow. Gravity charged for a second count of murder. I want to listen again.
On Thursday, the 18th of May 2017, an injured Flavian Bellot, male adult of Galion, was discovered on a riverbank in Roseau in the vicinity of an area locally known as Washington. Bellot was transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he was medically examined and subsequently pronounced dead by a medical doctor. A coroner's inquest was convened and police commenced investigations into the circumstances surrounding the death of Flavian Bellot. The police have since ended investigations, and on Tuesday, the 27th of June 2017, Patrick St. Moses, better known as Gravity of Kings Hill, was charged with the alleged murder of Flavian Bellot. This is the second charge of murder preferred against Patrick St. Moses.
Somebody's on my telephone. Hello?
Hey, Matt, good afternoon.
Uh-huh.
Matt, what I'm hearing there kind of freaking me out, you know.
It's just freaking me out. Paro killing paros?
No, but not just Paro kill Paro. So that Paro seems to be here. He has been a serial killer for the longest while. Matt, between you and I, if the police had me and they were squeezing my balls, I'll tell them it's me that killed for them to let go my balls. Have a good afternoon.
You're saying that it may be an easy way out? Is that what you said? This morning we heard... Yes, we heard a call. How do we solve? I'm just asking this question there. We've had 12 homicides reported thus far. How do we deal with the problem of crime? Hello, talk to me.
Matt, good afternoon.
Uh-huh.
Matt, if I give you some drugs on credit, and you cannot pay me, or you're taking time to pay me, or you're not paying me at all, and I do not have the guts or the courage to kill you, do you know that there are some people who could get somebody to kill somebody for them because of the drug money?
That's what you're assuming. Doesn't say that's true.
But I'm just saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you think that this guy could be a hired killer for that?
I don't know. I think the individual that is called right now by the police in charge of these two murders needs some psychological help. That's all I can say at this time. It's apparent that maybe a psychology should be brought in. I don't know what the police knows. Maybe they have all the evidence, but this guy may need some help. Hello.
Hey, Matt, good afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you asked about what should we do?
Yeah.
With all these 12 murders. I mean, you're talking about 12. I mean, so many unsolved murders in this place, so many burglaries.
But why wouldn't you want to compliment the police, though, the CID, on solving these two murders?
My brother, that's an easy way out. I'm not going to comment on that one. That is an easy way out. But I want to say straight off.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to talk about the deterrent. Do you see a deterrent with all the crimes that's going on in Dominica in terms of the killings, the burglaries? Do you see a deterrent? Do you see police presence? Do you see added police protection on the road? You don't see that. So all these things happening, and we're saying, okay, a lot of them are unsolved. Now, this one, I don't know how they come up with it. They come up with gravity for these crimes. And honestly speaking, there seem to be a lot of things going on, and to me, that one is the easy way out. And I'm going to keep my eyes and ears open because I don't think because you hold gravity, these kinds of killings are going to stop. So I think we need a deterrent. We need to see police presence. We're not seeing that. So why is the police saying they're concerned? You don't see policemen on the streets. Matt, for the past, it's even...
I heard the car, Mr. Commissioner, this morning calling for some help, assistance.
My boy, he calling for help, but help on what? Because, I mean, these guys are so selective, Matt. I mean, this morning I couldn't get through, but when I listen to the police commissioner, I just have to laugh because the police commissioner came in on the scene sometime 2012 about that time, maybe about June, July of January 12th. I pick up my phone and I call that very commissioner. The day I spoke to him, I think the day after he was going away. And what was I reporting? Police, who is an inspector, he got his promotion sometime in December of that same 2012. I was calling about to Mr. Carbon about that police and about his rapist behavior, his child molestation behavior, and it never went anywhere. So these guys are selective. Mervyn John Baptist called Daniel Carbon at that time. That was early days. When Carbon came on the scene, Carbon made a public appearance on the media saying the Gun Emmanuel case will be investigated. Where is that, Matt? Where is that today? So these guys are jokers. I don't know why Carbon come in and say what he's saying there, but Carbon looks like a sick man to me, even physically. Have a good one.
All right, 117. You're not his doctor. I don't know how you can come to that determination, though. But again, it's your opinion. It's 117. Mr. Carbon calling for help from the public. We heard him this morning.
Investigators on the U.S.
I think we're playing the wrong clip, but we'll come back to that in a minute there. 4493095. Clear that the police need some help there. Hello, talk to me.
Yeah, good afternoon. Trevor, if I'm Matt,
yes,
I could get gravity to come to confess to all crimes, Matt. $30, and buying whatever where gravity will confess, Matt. They need to come again.
I don't know if the police would come, that low to try to solve crime. Just because it's gravity? I don't know. I'm going to give the police the benefit of the doubt. Some people are saying because using the gravity as the excuse. Somebody says, a professional is saying, Matt, drug abusers can be lethal killers while appearing very docile. Why are people believing gravity is incapable of murder? These people harm each other all the time. They can be very violent. So many transient people commit heinous crimes, stay there and think gravity cannot kill anybody. That's what a professional is telling me at this time. See? So they are capable. Hello, talk to me. Hello, talk to me. Hi, 120.
Yes, ma'am. If they are that capable, then something needs to be done because we have quite a few people like that on the streets. There's drug users.
But not all of them. Not all of them can be.
I don't say all of them because if they're saying drug users or paros are capable of killing like that, we have many paros on the streets, and you hear for so many years that they're going to put away the paros, they're going to get a place for them, they're going to do all kind of, and nothing has been done. So what is it going to be? It's going to be a few more, maybe during the tourist season, tourist season, one of the tourists get tackled by a paro and then they go and start to talk again. Matt, something needs to be done, because if they can be looking so docile in your eyes and they're capable of being serial killers, something is wrong with our society. Our society has given up and failed the system, failed our people. And that is what I'm seeing there. And if people don't want to put things in proper perspective, that is their business. But not something needs to be done, and it needs to be done now, because if you have you know how much years since Washington Park died and since Grell died, then we come up to Andy now and you'll be saying it's gravity. That's okay. But I'm saying something needs to be done. If it's gravity, that's okay, but something needs to be done, because we have many more like gravity on the streets. So they're capable of many things that we don't know they're capable of. Have a good day.
Have a good day. It's 121. Hello.
Blessings to you.
Blessings, my brother.
Now go on.
Okay.
All right. Matt, you see, a lot of people are thinking it out loud, but it's in the thoughts of people based on the inconsistency.
Because I'm sure the immediate reaction would be gravity.
I would not want to say he is incapable, or I would not want to say anybody could coerce him under interrogation, under inducement. I don't know. I would not want to go that far, Matt. But I'm saying if there are some surveillance cameras downtown, they may have him on camera committing not murder number one. And could it be that under interrogation, no coercion? I am not going to say that. If that's the case, I have no evidence of that, Matt. You follow my argument? And they could say, well, okay, if he was the one, Matt.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I am saying having to do with the concession of the second murder. I don't know what evidence they have on him on the first one. There might be a camera that pick him up and they have evidence, well, he's in that vicinity the brother died, and they could say, oh, look, it's gravity, look him committing the crime, or he was in the general area, and then maybe he deliberately confessed, or I don't know. I don't want to go that far, but Matt, I
would like to have professionally have a psychologist in that room when the police do that interview.
Yeah, I hope, because you see the speculations that run wild, man.
Yep.
I do not want to go there. That's a dangerous thing, because that doesn't mean he's not capable of being a killer or a serial killer, if that's the case. But what I'm saying, all these things are brought to bear because of the incompetent or the inactions of the police to a certain extent, Matt.
But let's stick to Blessings. I'm asking the question, how can we help? Not necessarily just the police, but to stop this, the high levels of crime now. What's really going on in society?
Listen to you. Matt, engage me for a little minute again.
Yes, sir.
Matt, I'm listening to the police officer asking people to go to Crime Stoppers, to a pastor, to a priest, and all. My brother, the first and foremost, if I was the chief of police, Matt, what I want to do is to regain confidence in my police officers.
I was having a conversation this morning with a police officer, and you know what he said, man? If we need the community to help, we really have to check our own selves, the police themselves. I just found that very interesting.
But that is what I'm saying. You cannot be sending them elsewhere. The police, the Crime Stoppers is not necessarily responsible for the security of the people or the state, Matt. They're just doing an additional job. And if you have people distrusting your officers, that's where the problem begins. And that is where you want to start at the beginning to deal with a problem which is so severe and frightening. But Matt, can you imagine after months and months, the investigation is not concluded, but you're coming and tell us the U.S. are investigating the barrels of guns, Matt? I thought after all that months by now, so they're supposed to say, look, that was the result, that was A, B, and C. No, Carbon is telling us, my brother, the people are suspicious of the police. The people are not trusting the police. And you come in and tell them, go to Crime Stoppers, go to the priest, go to the pastor, go to whoever you can trust, and not the police. Why not the police? What he know that we don't know, Matt? Thank you.
Well, I don't know. Again, I will try to bring up Mr. Caban.
We've seen it's a worldwide phenomenon now that people, citizens, visitors, whoever they are, do not want to speak and volunteer information in relation to criminal activity. That is not the best practice. We see what is happening in Dominica. We see what is happening in the region, and we're seeing what is happening worldwide on our TVs and our tablets. The best way and the most fundamental way in preventing things from happening and to help to stop things from happening is to talk about it. You may have issues of confidentiality. There must be a police you can confide in. There is no excuse about that. There is Crime Stoppers. You have the clergy. You have the doctors. You have the pastors. You have the school teachers and the school principals. And you have the technocrats. You have the politicians. There must be somebody you can confide in this country that you can pass the intel to, who will make it available to the police. And that is my cry.
It's 1:26 in the afternoon here. This is the Talk on the Block. Hello. We talking crime. Hi. How do we solve these problems?
Yes, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
There's a prominent person that can look into gravity eyes, you know, on this side. He's the
Oh, that's your contribution. Hello, talk to me.
Matt.
My
name is Evans John.
Evans John, sir. Former police officer.
I'm a retired police inspector. I served the police force for 27 years.
Okay.
Worked in the CID for 15 years. The special squad for 6 years. Whatever I have and all training I've had in my life is through the police force.
Okay.
I still committed to assist the police in whatever form I can. I have been encountered on many occasions with some of the paros. I went to Whitchurch sometime early this year. There was a tourist boat in port, and there was a paro at the back of the tourist withdrawing money from the ATM.
Repeat what you said?
There were two tourists, visitors, withdrawing money from the ATM by Whitchurch.
Okay.
There were 4 policemen in uniform at the corner by courts. There were 2 policemen shopping in uniform inside Whitchurch. I confronted the guy. I said, "Why are you so close to the people trying to rob them?" He says he's meant to slap me. Right? I went inside Whitchurch. I met 2 junior officers. I told the 2 officers about it. And they just walk away and join the 2 others. And walk away. I have some information. I went to police headquarters to pass on to the chief of police. I was confronted at the gate. The security asked me what information I have for the commissioner of police. I said I can't disclose it. I went to the secretary upstairs. I said I wanted to talk to the commissioner. He told me he's busy. I said I'm prepared to wait. It was around 9:30. I remained around 11:30 when the person from the commissioner's office left. The secretary went in and she came back. I don't know whether it's true. She told me the commissioner said he cannot attend to me, he's too busy. So I do not know whether the message he gave me was true or correct. But she came out of his office and said to me, Commissioner says he's busy, he can't attend to me. Just recently, I was out of state and I have a farm. For 2 months, this farm was being stolen. I identified the guy. He lives in Kenfield East. I had my information.
You're talking Pradier Lassen. The people were stealing stuff from your farm.
My farm. And this guy, I made a report to 3 senior police officers. They told me they know the guy. He lives in Kenfield East. Right? He lives in Kenfield East. He was on his way under the Kenfield Cliff with the goods. I called police headquarters and spoke to a senior police officer. Up to now, they did nothing about it. The same guy, Paro, was involved in an incident in Point Michel where he broke somebody's arm. And they called me and I went to police headquarters. I confronted the guy. He said he knows me personally because he's from Kenfield. So I told him, what are you doing in my garden? He said he has a right to go there. So the police officer told me, okay, I know what I can do, deal with this situation. I said I'm not prepared to do anything. This is the situation in Dominica today.
So you don't have any confidence in the police for doing anything?
That, no? Because they can take proper action, their appropriate action, but it's the court system. Going to court, I have a matter pending at the court for 9 years It's a civil matter. It's the whole court system, and you waste your time outside the court. So people seem to be taking the law in their hands now because of the court system.
Well, you might get yourself in trouble, sir.
That's what they're encouraging. They want, I am not saying the police, I am saying the system, which is the court system. Court matters take too much time, and some policemen find they are wasting their time going to court. So it's the system we have to try to straighten up.
All right, caller, thank you very much. We're going to take a break, and then we'll come right back after this.
Now is the time to get prepared. Ensure that your disaster-ready kit is up to date. Keep identification and money close. Educate your family on an evacuation plan. Prepare your family and ensure their safety. Remember, disasters don't know time, so be prepared.
This is an important message from the Health Promotion Unit, Ministry of Health.
Keeping food safe after hurricanes. If the power is out for less than 4 hours, then the food in your refrigerator and freezer will be safe to consume. While the power is out, keep the refrigerator and freezer doors closed as much as possible to keep food cool for longer. If the power is out for longer than 4 hours, follow these guidelines. A freezer that is half full will hold food safely for up to 24 hours. A full freezer will hold food safely for 48 hours. Do not open the freezer door if you can avoid it. Pack milk, other dairy products, meat, fish, eggs, and spoilable leftovers into a cooler surrounded by ice. You may use the inexpensive styrofoam coolers.
To learn more, call the Health Promotion Unit at 266-3469.
Dominique can get ready for one of the most celebrated Haitian compa bands, T-Vice. T-Vice. CPAF in collaboration with Typhus and Lido Baron Restaurant St. Martin present the T-Vice live in concert on Friday, July 14th at the Strip Lade Coco 8 p.m.
If you love T-Vice, you got to get loud, get loud.
T-Vice. T-Vice. Also, Theo Cass, Elijah Bino, Dios Copa, Grand Black, DJ Biggest from St. Martin, Prince Wallix and more. Partners include Digicel, TVS Radio Court, Q95 FM, The Big Station, Deepex, Fine Foods Inc. and more. Purchase tickets from Moonshine Pharmacy, Deepex Scholar Lab from now until June 30 at $40. July 1st to July 14th at $50. More at the door. T-Vice live in concert, July 14th at the Strip.
Caribbean Hype 246 2017. Your official international passport to soca music. Saturday, July 1st, and it all kicks off at 8 p.m. Performing live. Major Mr. Hype DJ. Also on the lineup, DJ C. Your band. Triple K International. The first Serenade band. Performing straight from Trinidad. Traveling the voice. Lyrical. GBM Neutral. And from Barbados, Hyper Sound. This is one event you don't want to miss for the summer. Saturday, July 1st. Tickets cost $30 in advance. $40 at the door. Ultimate VIP cost $200. Get your tickets today at the Wheat Church main office. Real beer is the Caribbean Hype 2017. Fun, entertainment, music, love. Caribbean 246. Responsibly. Your soca passport. See you there.
I can't predict the future, so I'm taking this full flight. That's why I live it for tonight.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I'm here.
Yeah, but I was listening to the program a while ago, and where the police charged another person.
The same person.
Yeah. I mean, the same person for the death of another person. And to me, I did not hear it too clear. But I find that either you or your callers were finding a criticism with the fact that the police at least arrested a second person.
No, you're still repeating the same person for the second murder.
Right. Okay. They charge the same person for a second murder, and you don't find that was good enough on the part of the police?
I congratulate the police, sir. So you have to listen before you make your criticisms, sir. I congratulate the police. People have their doubts. We can't blame how people think, huh? So I don't know. I don't know where you got your information from. Hello, talk to me.
After Spelter Junior, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
It's a while I haven't heard you. How are you doing?
Okay, sir. Okay.
All right. Sunday afternoon, I came up from church Sunday afternoon. And while coming out from... Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, while coming out from church, I brought some food for an elderly man in the new market.
Uh-huh.
While giving the man the food, a younger gentleman came to me and asked me whether I had more food. I told him no. When I entered my jeep, about to leave the area, the young man wanted to fight the elderly man for the food. So anything can happen. And that same Andy, I remember 2 years ago I had a job with him on my truck.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as I paid him, he left me. I packed my truck around Roseville, walking around Roseville. He went to buy the nonsense. And other parents was fighting him for the same nonsense that he took his money to buy. So anything can happen, bro.
Anything can happen. Yes, somebody just identifying Mr. Mills who just called me there. I didn't pick up your voice. I'm very sorry. So, in the sense where you have to listen and don't wait for reports before you call and make criticisms, okay? I did congratulate the police, but some people are saying, well, maybe they're looking for an excuse or, saying, well, they can't solve the crime, so they blame it on somebody else. That's what the person said, but there was no blame coming from Q95 on the police, okay? Again, I congratulate the police, but you expect people to have their doubts. That happens. 138. Hello, talk to me. Uh-huh. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Il tenait un temps pour dire que couper comment, elle a coupé comment, a attaqué pour madame moi. Moi fait 5 reports, pièce police pas monter. Moi aller head police headquarters. Et ben là moi descendre la police là. Il tenait un secteur qui inspecteur Delhi. Il qui est police station immediately. Et il y a pour 2 jours pour monter. Ou ça police là qui montait c'est un capral. Et ben USA fâché pour commettre un ouais était des beaux parles. Ouais, un peu ce crime là qu'a fait là, c'est eux qui la cause qu'a fait.
139. What the caller is basically saying, a lot of the crimes that is happening, the police are to be blamed. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, my brother. I mean, it's sad what's going on Ireland, but if it's a cleanup they're doing on the paro, my brother, there's a lot of cleanup to do because...
Who's the day?
Well, okay, allegedly, if anyone is doing that to the paro, there's a lot of young men is hooked on crack cocaine that's going to be just like those guys. So what we need on Ireland is a rehabilitation center to help them get rid of that addiction, my brother.
Well, all I'm saying, and I will continue to say, if you are going to interview somebody for such a crime, a psychologist, a professional, should be in the room when you do the interrogation. Is that fine? Hello, talk to me. Hi.
Matt, good afternoon.
Uh-huh.
You and your listeners, my brother.
Yes.
Matt, Mr. Mills need a gag order. Because, Matt, and that is what we're talking about, That is where the confidence in the police force starts, Matt. Carbon and the hierarchy need to look from within. There cannot be a law for Mills and a law for all the other police officers. To be called, Mills is constantly calling Q95 to share his viewpoint, his political viewpoint, that is, on any and every subject. Man, and that is against what Mills is there to do. And we are saying, Mills, you need to stop calling Q95.
Or any other radio station,
Yes, my brother. If you need to call your radio station, take out your police uniform, resign from the force, and you're free to call. It was Weeks who said what is good for the goose is good for the gander. But Mills is neither a goose nor gander. So he needs to stop calling the radio station.
Caller, I missed that voice here this afternoon, I will confess. It's 1:41 in the afternoon. Somebody says, Matt, I'm better than you. I identified his voice very early. Matt, all like Mills so make me have no confidence in the police. See, Mr. Carbon, talk to Mr. Mills. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, my brother. I understood that there was a fire in Point Michel where a vehicle got burned.
Uh-huh.
So are the police officer investigating that? I'm right in New York and I'm hearing so many rumors.
Yes, I heard there was a fire. I saw, the remains of a fire to a truck on Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's my uncle's truck, and I'm right in New York, and I'm hearing there was things that happened prior to the truck being burned. So are they investigating that? And I understood some individual, after his truck got burned, they bought a truck like his truck, apparently.
My friend, I'm not going to go down that way. You're now speculating as to what you think may have happened. Stay away from those kind of comments. You might get yourself in some trouble. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
Uh-huh.
I think the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Carman, wants some cooperation with the public. With the people of the public, we have eyes, we have ears, we are seeing and we are watching and we are hearing. Tell him I said, go and arrest the man who stole the Prime Minister information. If he wants some cooperation, we, as the people of the public, we will cooperate with him if he's cooperating with the people of the public. Other than that, go to hell, Carbon.
All right, my brother. Hold it down. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Uh-huh.
Well, Matt, I am aware that is a fact that there are hundreds of individuals in jails across this world that have admitted to crimes they have never committed. It is amazing how the human mind operates. You are correct to interrogate an individual like those paros, quote-unquote paros, in the absence of a psychiatrist is tantamount to murder itself. So I cannot accept you have a quote-unquote paro in the presence of the police without a medical professional or an attorney at law, and to put up my hand and clap and praise the police. Praise the police for what? They are intellectuals, individuals with master degree, and when the police finish with them, they're going in court and say they're guilty. When they know absolutely nothing about a crime. Much remember I told you a couple of years ago, I provided the police with a transport to go and investigate the stealing of building material on one of my construction sites. This corporal at the time go down by the suspect. He see the block. I show him the block under banana leaves in the suspect's property. The gentleman came up back with a plastic or limeway and tell me the guy say he gets the block from the Carib territory from some neighbor. And Daniel Carbon want to sit in his office under air-conditioned facilities and tell me he need my cooperation. Mr. Carbon, when you stretch out your hand, I will spit in it. Because you're already yet, sir.
I think you should help the police, though. I mean, I know you're going to be emotional at this time, but don't you think that you can help the police? He's gone. 1:44 is the afternoon time on the big station. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, man.
Mm-hmm.
You had the inspector with you a while ago. We have 2 murders in Layou that haven't been solved, and he was the one in charge of the St. Joseph police station.
What I can tell you, sir, about that particular caller, he's not here to defend himself. I would really want to, and you don't want to give him a chance, to call back the radio station and defend himself. So leave him out of the argument there. Hello, talk to me. 449, let him defend himself if he's present. Talk to me, hello.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon to you, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Good, Matt. Matt, while I believe that there should be zero tolerance for violence and so on, I still believe Dominica is one of the safest places to live, to work, and to spend vacation, man. This chief of police needs to clean his backyard, and I'll tell you why. Matt, Ali Rizal-Zibal at Montserrat was on Interpol most wanted. He and Mr. Kerrick knew that Montserrat was wanted. They kept them in Dominica hiding, Matt. I mean, how? You will not have no confidence to go and tell Daniel Carbon nothing, Matt. You'll not give him no.
So you don't have confidence in the police, sir. That's police chief. That's all you're saying.
Especially in Daniel Carbon and Matt.
My friend Daniel Carbon and the police chief is the very same person. 146, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
It's
a long while I'm calling. You cannot call the radio station again, but I have to call.
You don't want to be calling the radio station?
No, because, I mean, you know what I mean, too much talking, but on that one there was the law. I must say something.
Okay.
Because Mr. Carbon, it's obvious, because he doesn't know happening and know happening. He knows what's happening. A man did not to Mr. Emmanuel. The man confessed. You know what I come and get. The man confessed. They had tested in 300 Barbados. They just come back and see you do this. And they have the man that running Dominica, not Skerrit, but the other one. I don't know call his name. The axe. I come and what he came to do doing it. And again, himself that say he tell Skerrit to no constitution. So the people are taking that. The only country running on no law. We are a lawless country. It's the best every time today. I'm not calling no.
All right, I know. Fire in a news story just coming in the breaking news that there's a fire. There was a fire in Point Michelle a few minutes ago. It has been reported that the home of Mr. They call him Bobot. Yeah, very known in the domino arena there. Fire at Point Michelle, hearing that the fire is at the home of Mr. Albert Bentley, the guy who runs the various domino leagues. So I was trying to find out from Point Michelle, exactly just what is going on. The fire trucks, I was told, was at the house sometime in the afternoon. Hello. We'll find out more and bring you more details. Hello.
Yeah, one more point, man. Concerning and the guy that killed Andy there. Last week I was transporting World Bank people that came down to talk to us at Dominica Service. And when I came to pick up the people at Southern Place, that guy right in one of the men's face. I didn't have to tell him, boy, leave the man alone. He right in the man's face with an anger face. These fellas are angry, they are hungry. And what are happening is, right now, Dominica under siege of evil. That's what happening in the country now. They know.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Let's move on. There's 149. And did you report that to the police when that happened? Hello, talk to me. Just be very careful what you say.
Yes, I will be careful. Months before last,
yes,
a home in Belfast, about it was reported that over $1 million was found in that home. Then it was reported that it was over $500,000 in different currency. We want the commissioner to tell us in whose home that money was found. If he wants us to help him solve crime, he have to tell people when things happen in the country. He have to tell us where those things happen. Because if it was at Lennox home, they had gotten that amount of money, the whole of Dominica would know they got that money in Lennox home, right? Up to now, we Dominicans don't know in whose home that money was found. 2 fellas were arrested, then they let them go. They said they had nothing to do with the money that was found in that home. In whose home and whose money was it? Another thing I have to say, Matt, when police go out on their run on drug crime to check out drugs, Do anybody help them solve those crimes, Matt? They go out on their run, they get their drugs, they get the money, whatever they get from where they get the stash of drugs and the money. Nobody doesn't help them to solve it. They're solving it on their own. Why other crimes that are committed in the country? They want us to help them. And if they want us to help them, they have to work with us.
But didn't they just solve that crime there with gravity? Don't you have to give them some congratulations for that?
Matt, don't put words in my mouth, please.
I'm asking you. I never meant to put words in your mouth. I'm asking you a question.
Matt, let me tell you something. When the case will call, we will know if it's gravity that commit the crime. Please, and let me tell you another thing. You cannot say let us. No. The crime is not solved, man. We don't know exactly what happened, man. The
crime is not solved, and they have charged him with murder.
Man, they didn't charge the man for burning the Emmanuel house, and what happened to that, Matt?
You have a point there. You have a point.
They charge him. Then he turned wrong and said...
He changed his story.
He changed his story, Matt. So, what happened? What the policemen have to work with us. When you see we walking on the road for our right, walk with us. Put all your civilian clothes on all you. You can have all your police clothes, but walk with us when we on the protest for our right for Dominica. Not to come to intimidate us, especially the one that always calling your radio. Every minute, every time we have a protest in Roseau or any meeting, he always on the forefront. Both times we were up by the High Court there, he was there, like on the railing there, intimidating people. Have a good day, man.
Have a good day. I always remember my friend, Mr. Wicks, who did well with public relations, during the time he served as a public relations officer. And let's listen to some comments he made some time ago.
The discipline level in the police force is going down progressively. We must set the example. We must be above reproach. The selection and recruitment process must be reviewed. Tell them I say so. The moral of the police department is progressively getting lower. As I said, the discipline. Now, as I come on discipline with regard to the police force, one of the striking issues of the police force in relation to discipline or infractions that may be caused on the public, abuse or whatever, is the issue of this chronic, painstaking, laborious nonsense tribunal. What I'm trying to say is that if a policeman does something that's wrong, whether internally or externally, there should be a way in the police force, some kind of mechanism to deal with it expeditiously. So what you have is this lagging and delaying and all kinds of things, but the policeman is still working and he has done something wrong. He's not being dealt with expeditiously. In other words, we are accountable to the citizenry, and because we are custodians of the law, and because we must be above reproach, and because we must set the example, it must be seen that we are doing something quickly to arrest in bad behavior and anything. And Mr. Irish, who is an officer, can tell the commissioner I say so tomorrow and he can dismiss me. It's the truth. It is the truth. You talk about drugs and so on. In every organization, have VDEG. Every organization, whether in ministry there, whether in your office there, Mr. Bianzin say inside of the church, you think the church perfect? You think the church perfect then? You think the pastor perfect or the last foot soldier perfect then? You think the policeman perfect, the fireman? All of us have issues. I am saying that the issues must be addressed and addressed promptly. When you catch them, you must jail them. You must deal with them. I am a professional public prosecutor. If I have to prosecute, if my life has to go is making a contribution, that's fine. I must be part of an organization that is seemingly clean. The public expect us to be clean. You cannot be arresting people for drugs or saying, giving people for ticket for thing, but you break in the kick clear. You ought not to do it. It's wrong. And I'm saying the police high command, when reports, so you bring a report on Claude Weeks for X, Y, and Z, I must be investigated. Don't you just make a note and then business as usual. Sometimes these are the people who get promoted. These are the people who are acknowledged. So I'm saying rogue cops, whether in the Dominican Police Force or wherever globally, they must be dealt with robustly. They have to be punished, of course. I must hasten to say, there must be evidence. It's one thing to say X, Y, and Z, and that's why we've been talking a lot to break the culture of silence. So if a policeman is involved in drugs, just as we're trying to bash down those heavy dons, we call them dons in Jamaica, and we'll say Papa here. The same way if it has Papa in the police force, must identify, bring it, and come and testify. It's to come and testify. We are only opening our mouths and shouting, yes, the police is in that. Yes, the police is, but come and let us deal with them to get out. Because why? Because I'm inside. I'm at risk as well. Thank you.
And that was Mr. Wicks some years ago speaking on the police, still relevant today. It's 1:56. Hello. Hello. Hello, talk to me. Yes? Is that a police? Yeah. Okay. All right, let's move on. Hello. It's all you wanted to say. Hi. Uh-huh.
You see what Claude Wicks is saying?
Yes.
What about him? Because I'm not seeing him, I'm not hearing of him again.
He's around.
Wrong. So what Claude Wicks is saying is that, or telling us, I'm telling you, that whenever that policeman calls a program, you must ask him, do you deserve the promotion or the position that you hold? You must put a question to him and listen to his answer.
All right, okay. We'll ask him a question on your behalf. Hello.
Hey, Matt, good afternoon.
Matt,
I listened to Claude Wicks, the recording, and I laughed, because within that time to now, see the amount of policemen that got promotion and they in positions where they have done so many wrong things. For instance, look at Davidson Valerie. Got his promotion after even a situation where he leaked out information. Now, that is public knowledge. I personally, one of those, about a few Fridays ago, I actually confronted Davidson Valerie and tell him I'm asking for his resignation. And he says destiny that have him there. So these guys seem to be comfortable because they know there's a system that protects them. And for me, there are too many wrongs going on in our faces as the police department, and we cannot trust the police. I, for one, I cannot even trust Daniel Carbon. I have no confidence in him. But when you watch what's happening with the police, whole police department, something needs to be done, because we cannot have people in position because of their political affiliation, can call radio, can do wrong, can get promotion, and we as the citizenry sitting down there and watching it and figure out, condoning it or sitting down and supporting what's happening. We have to fight it down. We have to put a stop to it. Something has to happen, because the political directorate is in control of the police department right now, and it's only they're only doing that because the policemen that they put in position are there in their favor and not in the favor of the public. So something needs to be done, Matt, and it needs to be done sooner rather than later. Have a good afternoon.
Have a good afternoon. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Matt. Very good program.
Thank you.
Yes, I was going to make a comment for you weeks. That's how you brought him up. The police have to start to clean themselves first for them to build confidence in the community. And you're talking about community policing. Matt, you have to be able to be, the media should be able to approach the police on issues and find out what's happening. In return, the police should be able to access the media as much as they can to spread information and interact with the communities. And that is what you had in Mr. Claude Wicks. Remember, you could call Mr. Wicks on any issue and he would come to you and speak on these issues. But now you have to get pre-recorded information from the police, the current police PRO, John Baptist. Matt, you have issues where in the police force, young men who go and say, my parents send me, and they become police officers. Matt, you have issues where you have the living conditions of our police officers deplorable. You're talking about Marigot Police Station, Portsmouth Police Station, we heard in recent times. You have some areas where the police officers do not have vehicles to do their work. So, In order, and then again, you have the problem with recent issue that they have with the negotiations for salary increases. So the police force is in turmoil. And for the people to build confidence in the police force have to first build confidence within itself, rank and file. And that is, as a person from outside looking in, we can see that the police force has a serious problem in political interference. We hear meals on the radio every time, and there are laws preventing public officers from calling radio programs, and Mills do it at will, anytime, and everybody knows it's Mills, and no one can stop him. So, Matt, the police force has to examine itself. For Mr. Carbon to get the support from the public, he has to first get support from within and show us that he's cleaning the police force. Matt, another problem that we have with the police, in the police force again, Matt, you have some police officers who are good in community policing. They will send them to a community and they start doing their work, making themselves. And within weeks or a few months, they will be transferred. And the work that started, people starting to gain confidence in them, the work they started, you have to push that on the side and bring somebody new and start all over again. And that is the set of problems we have within the police force. Community policing is a key issue they need to address. Take care, Matt, and have a good day.
Have a good day. Somebody says, Matt, can you please play me And I have more from Mr. Wicks. Let's listen again to Mr. Wicks at this time.
The discipline level in the police force is going down progressively. We must set the example. We must be above reproach. The selection and recruitment process must be reviewed. Tell them I say so. The moral of the police department is progressively getting lower. As I said, the discipline. Now, as I come on discipline with regard to the police force, one of the striking issues of the police force in relation to discipline or infractions that may be caused on the public, abuse or whatever, is the issue of this chronic, painstaking, laborious, nonsense tribunal. What I'm trying to say is that if a policeman does something that's wrong, whether internally or externally, there should be a way in the police force, some kind of mechanism to deal with it expeditiously. So what you have is this lagging and delaying and all kinds of things, but the policeman is still working and he has done something wrong. It's not being dealt with expeditiously. In other words, we are accountable to the citizenry, and because we are custodians of the law, and because we must be above reproach, and because we must set the example, it must be seen that we are doing something quickly to arresting bad behavior in it. And Mr. Irish, who is an officer, can tell the commissioner I say so tomorrow and he can dismiss me. It's the truth. It is the truth. You talk about drugs and so on. In every organization, have VDEG. Every organization, whether in ministry there, whether in your office there, Mr. Bianzin say inside of the church, you think the church perfect? You think the church perfect then? You think the pastor perfect or the last foot soldier perfect then? You think the policeman perfect, the fireman? All of us have issues. I am saying that the issues must be addressed and addressed promptly. When you catch them, you must jail them. You must deal with them. I am a professional public prosecutor. If I have to prosecute, if my life has to go is making a contribution, that's fine. I must be part of an organization that is seemingly clean. The public expect us to be clean. You cannot be arresting people for drugs or saying, giving people for ticket for thing, but you break in the keep clear. You ought not to do it. It's wrong. And I'm saying the police high command, when reports, so you bring a report on Claude Weeks for X, Y, and Z, I must be investigated. Don't you just make a note and then business as usual. Sometimes these are the people who get promoted. These are the people who are acknowledged. So I'm saying rogue cops, whether in the Dominica Police Force or wherever globally, they must be dealt with robustly. They have to be punished, of course. I must hasten to say there must be evidence. It's one thing to say X, Y, and Z, and that's why we've been talking a lot to break the culture of silence. So if a policeman is involved in drugs, just as we're trying to bash down those heavy dons, we call them dons in Jamaica, and we'll say Papa here. The same way if it has Papa in the police force, must identify, bring it, and come and testify. It's to come and testify. We are only opening our mouths and shouting, yes, the police is in that. Yes, the police, but come and let us deal with them to get out. Because why? Because I'm inside. I'm at risk as well. Thank you.
Can do it in the proper and approved manner.
How concerned are you, sir, about what seemed to be a series of road fatalities, traffic accidents? How concerned are you about that?
Well, of course, like everybody else, including you, I am concerned, and I'm sure the police department as well is concerned with respect to the regular frequency with road fatalities and, of course, other major accidents. What I would say, though, Matt, is that every driver, every rider has a responsibility for his safety or the safety of others. That we have to get that clear. Notwithstanding the verbal assaults that are being unleashed on the police department, on your talk show, and other talk shows, and that we anticipate, that we can live with. We understand what comes of, but we believe sometimes, indeed, it is really unfair. The police, given the resources, will continue to do what it has to do with respect to the mandate, whether traffic regulations or other forms of upholding the law. But you would agree with me, Matt, that every driver, every rider has a responsibility. I am saying so in that a motorcyclist picks up his motorcycle and decides to go from point A to point B. He knows very well, and I would believe that he knows, or he ought to know, that should he ride without a headgear or helmet, as it were, the possibility, the probability, the risks of getting into accidents and may cause fatality or very serious injury, it's very likely. The risks are high, and that rider, that motorcyclist, has a responsibility, in my opinion. Yes, the police will encourage, as we have continued to encourage, drivers, whether drivers or riders, with respect to upholding the traffic regulations. Many people have been brought to the courts. I know the court have its part to play with respect to dispensing justice and probably not giving slap on the wrists, but of course that has to be tempered as well with taking all the circumstances into consideration. But I want to ask a question, as you have posed that to me as well. Are we as drivers or riders invincible? A rider, is he invincible? We see how they move around on the streets in Roseau particularly. They travel on the right, they overtake on the left. If they get a chance, they probably might even ride over your vehicle. They go in the center, they're ready to crush down, especially the elderly or the little ones. They think that they're in the command of the road. Of course, the police will stop, the police will catch some. Like one caller said just a while ago, that the police can't be everywhere at the same time. We are doing our best given the circumstances. And some people, and I know they've called your session, one prominent person whom I recognize very well, said that the police must be blamed for the young man who died 2 weeks ago. I believe indeed, whilst it's probably his opinion, but I really beg to grossly differ with him, because when this motorcyclists know that when they're wheeling the bike or scrambling the bike, as we say in our local palace, he must understand when, especially when he's doing it without headgear or without helmet, he is very likely to slam into wall or whatever it is and damage himself or kill himself. Do we blame the police for that? Can the police be everywhere at the same time? I'm saying, Matt, by virtue of what I've just said there to you, that we as drivers and motorcyclists, we have a responsibility. And as such, if we do not obey the law, if we do not fulfill the law, the obligations, there are consequences for our actions.
But would you admit, though, Mr. Weeks, while you, of course, speak to this motorcyclist, that the police themselves are not tough enough on this motorcyclists who seem to be riding without helmets, and they seem to be everywhere?
Right. It's a perception, not only from you, but from the general public. There's always room for improvement, not only in the police department, but all organizations. And yes, there ought to be, in my opinion, as a policeman, as a senior policeman, to be a bit more robust. Yes, we continue our patrols on the streets and the mobile patrols as well. And we can't be everywhere at the same time. Notwithstanding that we have to enforce the laws and to ensure that people secure themselves. But I would also argue very vociferously that at the same time too, that rider who decides not to put his helmet, who decides to wheel the bike in the air, and the blatant, flippant disregard for the law, and he goes and he damages himself, and then you blame the police. So I think let us look at it very objectively. While on the other hand, there ought to be room for improvement, and we probably ought to be more robust in ensuring that the implementation of the law and all of this, and the courts have its part to play. But do you agree with me as well that the rider or driver, as it were, has a responsibility for his security and his life?
Would you agree with me that Mr. Wicks sounds like a commissioner of police, a guy in charge, and knows his marbles? Let's go back to the telephone at this time. Hello, talk to me.
Hi, Matt Pelty.
And I spoke to Mr. Wicks many years ago. I still have that interview. Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Matt Pelty, good afternoon to you.
Mm-hmm.
Interested. I love the clipping of Mr. Wicks. You know, he's one of the officers that I looked up to during the time I was in the police force. Matt, the chief of police, Daniel Carbon.
He's asking for your help.
He's asking the public to assist him with crime.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt, I want to put on the record, we should assist where possible. But Daniel Carbon must ask himself some serious questions. And one of the questions that Daniel Carbon must ask himself as he sits in his office now and listening to this program, what have I, Daniel Carbon, done that has caused the public to lose such trust and confidence in the police, and as a result, they have no interest in assisting the police? Daniel Carbon must understand that it's under his watch, under his stewardship now, that the morals of the police is at its lowest. Daniel Carbon must examine his relationship with his police officers. Daniel Carbon passes police officers, some who have reached a stage, they used to.
Let me say that to you before we continue, because I was talking to a senior police, I wouldn't identify what is ASP or just, earlier today, and you said, Matt, we need to, he's asking for the help, but we need to examine ourselves.
Matt, this is exactly what I'm saying to you here. Matt, Daniel Carbon is the commissioner of police. He's entitled to a salute by every rank that is under him. There are police officers who are saluting Daniel Carbon, and he's not returning the courtesy. This is what is going on under Daniel Carbon watch, Matt. But Daniel Carbon is asking for the public to help him. I am part of the public. I served with Daniel Carbon. And Daniel Carbon, a law-abiding citizen like me, Daniel Carbon came after me for up to now. I cannot understand what I did that caused this guy to come after me, put my family through pain and suffering based on his actions. The whole world knows that. And Daniel Carbon is asking me to assist him. You understand? So Daniel, the police officer that spoke to you, is correct. And Daniel Carbon must have a conscience. And he must understand that in order for persons to have confidence in the organization that he leads, he must put confidence within that organization. Man, I want the people of Dominica to understand, and I want Daniel Carbon to understand, that there are several instances that he could have shown his mettle as a commissioner of police. But persons I heard this morning spoke about this. The leader of the opposition, what transpired based on instructions. Carbon sent persons at the gentleman's home, invade his privacy. The police officer did their work, came after the investigation was concluded. They came with a report to Daniel Carbon and told him who was responsible. This is a matter, if they had found Lennox Linton to be the one liable, the man could have been in jail today. Daniel Carbon knows who is responsible. Daniel Carbon has done nothing. And Daniel Carbon is asking the very same public to assist him. I mean, Daniel Carbon needs to get real. We're living in a society. It's a very small society. You have the allegation that was made the other day about this coup. Police officers were brought in here. Daniel Carbon has not let the public know what is the outcome of that investigation. You have a police officer, again, investigations were done about leaking of information. Investigations concluded. Daniel Carbon has the report. What has happened? You have an ex-police officer bringing the police force into disrepute day after day. Every program, every radio station is calling that's against the regulation. Daniel Carbon is doing nothing. And Daniel Carbon is asking people to assist him. I mean, Daniel Carbon needs to be real with himself. Daniel Carbon did something to me. I took the matter to court because I felt aggrieved. Daniel Carbon is passing me and doing as if I am his worst enemy. This is the type of gentleman that is sitting there as commissioner and talking his nonsense on radio. You know, I'm really upset with this guy's behavior. Daniel Carbon need to go call a meeting of his men and ask for forgiveness for his conduct as a commissioner of police in relation to how he's dealing with them as a manager. These are the kind of things that Daniel Carbon has to do. And the powers that be, instead they look at those kind of things, they continue to have the police force deteriorating. But one thing I want to say before I end. I want the public to have the eyes open on the police force. Because very soon, and remember, I'm sure you're recording this program, very soon, there are some police officers that is going to leave that police force because of the level of frustration and because of the level of political interference that is taking place in this police force. And I'm saying to the public that they need to keep their eyes open because this is going to be dangerous, because we're going to be left with a vacuum in this police force that we would have never saw coming. And remember, I said that on your program this afternoon. So, Matt, in a nutshell, what I want to say to Daniel Carbon, I will, as I said, yes, where we can give the police, but you, Daniel Carbon, must put yourself in a position for persons to respect you and respect the men under your watch. They're good police officers, Matt. They're good police officers there. You understand? But when Daniel Carbon is frustrating them because he's getting directives from other places and so on, I've warned this gentleman over and over. But what did I get as a result? What did I get as a result of this, my brother man? So, Matt, I just want to say to the good police officers, keep the strain, because we need you. We need you all. We understand the importance of the work that you all do. But I think, you know, the powers that be need to really examine and see whether Daniel Carbon is the best fit to be the Commissioner of Police at this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, it's 218. Hello.
Good afternoon to you and the listening public. Matt, can you remember sometime I called the program and I told you unless Mr. Carbon do not resign, this police force will never, ever have any respect. It has lost all its moral values. There is no respect, and the Dominica Police Force has too many potholes in that. Too many arbitrary things happened in the police force, and we never had any result. It's not the ordinary man on the road that took the keys and went at the bayfronts in the registry. It's not the ordinary man that slashed the tires of the vehicle. It's not the ordinary men that do a lot of things in the police force, and then they are just there. When the police themselves don't trust each other as comrades, we just have a callaloo. And if you have a pig and you have two pools of water, a clean pool and a dirty pool, the pig will definitely go and live in the muddy water because that is what it knows. Carbon just needs to resign. The gentleman that they chastised some time back, when they read the report, that played the report there, Mr. Weeks, if he was the commissioner of Dominica Police Force, it would be Bodo Shekokot. Everybody would be standing as straight as a new needle, and we would have moral values and respect. But unless you see Carbon do not get out from that position he does not deserve, it will be just even chaos if you don't look at what is going on there. Because when you take people who do not worth a position and you bypass the person who is qualified. It cannot have a good resolution in the heart. You have a mind, you have a conscience. Man, just get out and let the police force get back to its original respect with you. Have a blessed day. Thank you very much.
Have a blessed day. We're going to take a break for word from our sponsors. We'll come back. This is The Talk on the Block.
Get your automobile service done at Astafans Auto Center in Canefield. Professional, reliable service for air conditioning, diagnostics, and repair. Electronic wheel alignment, brake, rotor, and drum shaping, tire changing, wheel balancing, suspension checks, and repair. Full diagnostics reports, including the resetting of engine check lights. Multi-point service with oil and filter change, battery, and charging system checks. Brake flush, automobile spray paint, and accessories. Major and minor mechanical repairs. Call Astafans Auto Center at 255-2789. Services are available to all make and model vehicles on island. Terms and conditions apply.
Slash LA Jupini Hardware /down summer sale on blenders, kaleidoscope paints, popcorn makers, cutlery sets, cast iron cookware, bakeware, spice racks, rice cookers, glass bowl sets, bathroom faucets, irons, and so much more. 2 days only. Preview on Thursday 29th and shop Friday June 30th and Saturday July 1st for huge savings. Up to 50% off on marked items while stocks last. LA Jupini Hardware on Long Lane in Roseau. Slashing prices just for you.
Nissan X-Trail sets you free. Adventure starts here at Auto Trade Limited. 3 months, no interest. 3 years, free licensing. 3 years, free maintenance or up to 60,000 kilometers. Go where your mind just went. Backed by 3 years of manufacturer's warranty. Promotion runs from now till June 30th, 2017. Call our main number at 255-6800 or our mobile numbers at 613-2496 or 617-2497. Terms and conditions apply. Nissan, innovation that excites.
My phone is my everything. It's where I make plans. You at 7. It makes me laugh.
When Africans go to the bank, I would like to say hi to my money and leave.
Lets me share my happiest moments and hear a comforting voice when I need it most.
It'll be all right.
It's like a best friend. That's why I get everything out of my phone with a Flow prepaid combo plan.
Save up to 95% on data talk and text in one simple plan. The bigger you go, the bigger you save on the fastest and most reliable 4G network. Dial *129# now to activate our 7-day large combo plan and get 1,000 megs of data, 1,000 minutes, and 1,000 texts for just $29.99 with Flow.
We are in the hurricane season, and your most reliable service provider, Flow, wants you to be prepared. It is extremely important to have a working handset during the hurricane season. There's a large selection at Flow, including affordable handsets which feature FM radio and flashlights. Also ensure that your phones have sufficient credit to make that critical call to family and friends. You can also activate one of our talk, text, and data plans to cover all your communications needs during the hurricane season. Simply dial *129 to activate. And remember, Flow Credit is available at several locations all across Dominica. What about that good old faithful fixed line? A fixed line is the perfect alternative during this time of year. Come into Flow and ask about our free fixed line handset with service sign-up. Don't forget our charging stations, which are...
Surface winds are coming from the east at 11 knots or 20 kilometers per hour. The air temperature was 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. At the Canefield area... I'm
going to take that weather report again. Of course, we're monitoring some weather. We're being told it's coming from the south at this time, and there's already some rain in the south as we speak. So we're going to bring you the latest weather report. Stick around, Dominica. This is your information station. Stick around.
from the Dominica Meteorological Service at the Douglas Charles Airport for today, Wednesday, June the 28th, as recorded at 12 noon. The weather conditions at Douglas Charles were partly cloudy and hazy. The surface winds were coming from the east at 11 knots or 20 kilometers per hour. The air temperature was 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. At the Canefield Airport, the weather conditions were cloudy and hazy with adjacent showers. The surface winds were coming from the east-southeast at 7 knots or 13 kilometers per hour. The air temperature was 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. The weather outlook for Dominica and the Lesser Antilles. Moisture and instability associated with a westward moving tropical wave will generate cloudiness, shower, and thunderstorm activity across the area during today into Thursday. Residents in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks are advised to be vigilant and to exercise caution. Moderate seas are expected during the next 24 hours, with waves peaking near 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to continue to exercise caution. The synopsis: a tropical wave is affecting the region. The weather for this afternoon and tonight is expected to be cloudy, hazy and breezy, with showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. The winds will come from the east-northeast through to the east-southeast at 20 to 40 kilometers per hour with higher gusts. The sea conditions will be moderate in open water with waves of 2 to 2.5 meters or 7 to 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers, particularly on the eastern coast, are advised to exercise caution. For up-to-date information on weather conditions, feel free to visit our website at www.weather.gov.dm or call our weather hotline at 447-5555. From the Med Office at the Douglas Charles Airport, I am Karen Basil Lawrence.
So keep monitoring the weather all throughout the afternoon, okay? This is the information station. I will continue taking your phone calls for the afternoon until 3 o'clock. Let's watch that weather. We are the weather station. Hello, talk to me.
Weather station alone?
We're everything, right?
Peter, let me say I said Peter. Matt, Peter calling your name. Peter must be calling your name. Sorry. Matt, let us give thanks. Claude Wicks is not commissioner. This is not the ideal situation. Something would have happened to Claude Wicks a long time ago in Bethlehem.
Somebody's asking me to tell Claude Wicks to come back to the police service. He's still there. He's still around.
He was doing such a great job as public relations officer. He was relegated.
And he was taken out.
And you telling me he should be commissioner of who?
He was the perfect person to communicate with the public.
What I'm telling you, you could call that man and the man was not slandering the police or bringing down. He would just be professional about the accountability where policing is concerned, man.
So maybe if we need to help the police, we should ask the commissioner to bring back Claude Wicks, huh?
Boy, Matt leave Claude Wicks where he's there. That is not the situation for Claude Wicks. Claude Wicks is much too sincere for him to be around that volatile situation. Matt, may I continue, please?
Go ahead, sir.
Matt, the brother keep asking us to go to teachers and pastors and priests and how they call them, crime stoppers and everybody else, somebody you can trust. He talk about there must be a police. My God, I thought you could trust the police. I mean, we know, that's not the ideal situation. And the brother is going to leave the problem like that. You're not going to fix it. What are you doing to fix it? Give us some hope. Tell us what all you're doing to fix the current situation while all you're asking us, ye particularly, for assistance. But all the interference by Blackmore, by Skerrit, by Tony, tell police, go and search Linton home. Tony, a night, and the next morning, police by Linton. And you telling me about the morale of the police, or the people must, no matter how much help the people help the policeman, that is not going to help. And I'm just saying, my brethren, a little sick out there, they get a big boy in the police force to go and invest instigate the sick out, Matt, to further compound the madness and add insult to injury. So how can somebody tell me, my God, you know, all is well and, you know, oh, help us, and it's the people they need to help us. Matt, it is sad and it is sickening and it is frightening. The citizens of the country, the police can defend themselves. They have guns and they take certain training. But when we expose, you listen to the former police officer that called you, Matt, and tell you the amount of incidents they had, even by WeChat with the guy and the tourist. Matt, did you listen to the brother? Matt, you think that is the only thing? Am I going to condemn the police when I telling you straight? Boss, you could see them and eyes, they just checking, boss, I doing a job, I don't go and jeopardize myself. For what? And you seen like ministers of government, like a prime minister just come there the other day. It is alleged millions and millions and properties and villas and everything. And you want a little police to take his good senses. Yeah, prime minister saying no law, not even the constitution, and he's living by the letter of his utterances. You want a little boy to go and join the police force, Matt, seeing he there for how many years languishing. All little fellas, my pal rep send me come there, they getting promoted, and you want them to go and fight crime. Matt, them man have created a monster which will devour all of us. So some of us stand aside and send Matt. Matt, go and help us. Take care.
Caller, thank you very much. I will continue to do as much as I can for my country when I can. Hello, talk to me.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Inspector Week was the best. Inspector Weeks. Matt, leave Inspector Weeks where he's there. We're not hearing him. You know he's working. Leave him silent wherever he is there. Matt, is it, I myself can understand if it's a, they're having a special qualification to select police commissioners. No. Because I remember we had a police commissioner before this one, this Carbon, who said some man, they were talking about something, some man was having a piece of land situated right on top of the Layu River. You understand me? A piece of land was situated right on top of the Layu River. So tell me what kind of commissioners we're getting in Dominica. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, talk to me. It's 2:32. I think you guys should have an honest, Mr. Carbon, honest conversation with the senior members of the police force. It's not looking good. Hello, talk to me.
Matt,
yes.
Have you ever seen the Commissioner Rongroso walking in his uniform, interacting with people, Matt?
Not interacting. I've seen him walking, though.
With his uniform and
Yes, I've seen him.
You would see maybe Mr. Blasher walking around road, or sometimes you see a nice smile on his face. People maybe would you know, the people would be interacting with him. Maybe he could. Then you would see that Mr. Lestrade doing that. You would see Mr. Daru, and you know those people, and people would get to know who their commissioner is. You would see that Mr. Philip, Mr. Pierre from Porterville, you would see them people, and people serious people in their job. But that man, I think he just inside there, and he know he have a job. The Gestapo put him in his job, so he enjoying his job till his retirement. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Mr. Carbon, just go out and interact a little bit and be social with the people of Dominica. Huh? Another suggestion. Maybe I'll try to reach out to a few commissioners, former commissioners, see if we can have a conversation, I'm sure they too are not very happy with what is going on. Hello, talk to me.
Matt.
Mr.
Wicks is so much on point, and according to Dr. Severus' term, he was just being brutally frank. And what did he get for it? Other colleagues reporting him, he has too much access, the media has too much access to him, and a whole set of complaints. And what we have now, we have a recorded PRO. That is how I have to tell me. Tell me.
Yeah, because you wouldn't speak to the media in a spontaneous way. It has to be recorded.
Right, so and you call he's a recorded PRO.
And then sends out voice notes.
Right, and you can even write a calypso on that, recorded PRO. Now, Matt, with the commissioner and the support from the public. The commissioner is a stumbling block to the citizens, giving the police more assistance, Matt. What the commissioner has to do, he has to start to behave like he is a creature of the Constitution as it is. He is a creature of the Constitution. He must execute his duties without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. He must let it be seen that he is an impartial commissioner, that whoever is found wanting will have to face the court. But all these kind of things, I mean, I'd have to go over it, that people have seen, which people have leveled their dissatisfaction into the performance of the commissioner. The commissioner now needs to do some self-introspection. And while he cannot undo what has been done already, what he has to do now from this day forward, change his modus operandi. And if he does what I just finished say there, without affection or ill will, impartially, he will see, he will get so much support from the public. It's simple, Matt. It's easy as ABC. All he needs is the testing of attitude and the fear of God for him to execute his duties properly. He has allowed himself to be pushed around too much. It's time for him to put his foot down, and he can do that starting from today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. At approximately 8 a.m. this morning, drivers on the Pocassi main road close to the roundabout stopped to give assistance to passengers in a minivan. The driver of the minivan lost control of the vehicle, and of course it flipped and landed in the ravine. No updates on driver in terms of casualties. Well, I suspect he can relate to the story that you're talking about. It was a minivan belonging to the company Fast Cash. As far as I'm concerned, everybody is fine. Okay, so just in case that you are worried. Thank you very much. Hello.
Matt, hello.
Uh-huh.
Just me again.
Okay, sir.
Matt, we well remember the circumstances and the death of Joshua Etienne.
Yes.
There was a gun and there was ammunition that the police were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That is why they brought in Joshua Etienne in the cell. And Joshua Etienne did not come out from those cells alive. Now, it is said, it is alleged on the ground that this case of Joshua Etienne, they say dead man tell no tale. This case of Joshua Etienne and the Gunny Manuel matter that the police don't want to touch, they don't want to touch it at all. There has a connection. It has a connection. And it is high time, Matt. Dominicans are waiting for Mr. Gunny Manuel, Joshua Etienne, and all these atrocious crimes that justice be meted out. Matt, we can jump high, we can jump low as a nation. I've said it before and I'll continue to say. Unless these cases are dealt with expeditiously and justly, my brother, we will continue to reap the rewards of these injustices. The spirits that are associated with this case and others, especially Gunny Manuel. Matt, once Gunny Manuel case is dealt with justly, I am of the firm opinion, based on what I know, Dominica will never be the same again. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Daniel Carbon has facilitated Davidson Valerie's promotion, even if Valerie has done evil works in the high-profile police matter involving politicians. Where is the report showing Valerie is perverting? Where is the report that's showing that Mr. Valerie was perverting and obstructing the course of justice? Mr. Carbon, a question for you. Let's take a break and then we'll come back. Don't forget to monitor the hurricane, or the hurricane season, I mean. Not necessarily hurricane, and there's a storm, a lot of rain in the south. We're coming back to tell you more.
We are in the hurricane season, and your most reliable service provider, Flow, wants you to be prepared. It is extremely important to have a working handset during the hurricane season. There's a large selection at Flow, including affordable handsets which feature FM radio and flashlights. Also ensure that your phones have sufficient credit to make that critical call to family and friends. You can also activate one of our talk, text, and data plans to cover all your communications needs during the hurricane season. Simply dial *129 # to activate. And remember, Flow Credit is available at several locations all across Dominica. What about that good old faithful fixed line? A fixed line is the perfect alternative during this time of year. Come into Flow and ask about our free fixed line handset with service sign-up. Don't forget our charging stations, which are free to the public at our Customer Experience Center. Need to charge your phone? Our doors are wide open and welcoming. We are in the hurricane season. Always be prepared with Flow.
Crystal Waters Blue Skies, a dramatic radio production capturing the under turmoil of an otherwise peaceful tropical paradise. Mondays and Wednesdays, just before the hot seat. Listen to Crystal Waters Blue Skies. Water, blaze, fire.
This is an important message from the Health Promotion Unit, Ministry of Health.
Preparing a medication kit. Before a hurricane, prepare a ready-to-go waterproof zipper bag. The bag should include 2 to 3 extra week supplies of your prescription medications. Keep the medications in the original containers and double bag them to protect them from water damage. Include over-the-counter medications that you may need, example paracetamol. Other items you may need to take or administer the medications, like spoons, syringes, needles, alcohol wipes. A small water bottle to take the medications or to prepare them. Keep a list of your medication.
To learn more, call your healthcare provider.
The 2017 Cadence Litson Show is on. All singers and songwriters should register with NCCU by June 30, 2017 for audition on Saturday, July 15, 2017. Get ready!
All right, we're going to back to the telephone at this time. We have just about 18 more minutes. Hello. Are you there, caller? I'm sorry. Try again. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matt. How are you?
I am doing okay.
Good afternoon to your listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Matt.
Yeah.
Labor Rights said that Inspector Wicks chat too much, so it's why they didn't give him the post, not the post, and they put a muzzle on his mouth. That is what they said. He chat too much, but Inspector Wicks was the best man for that job. Inspector Wicks and Inspector Andrew, they were the best. And Matt, on the second note, you hear me, Matt? You there?
I'm here.
Matt, on the second note, did you know that the Caribbean leaders sell us out for the big sharks outside there to devour us? Our Caribbean leaders, that is what they did to us. Have a pleasant day, Matt, and goodbye.
Have a great day, sir. For 17 minutes before the hour of 3 o'clock. Let's listen again to Mr. Wicks on the radio. But of course, before that, the Commissioner of Police.
Worldwide phenomenon now that people, citizens, visitors, whoever they are, do not want to speak and volunteer information in relation to criminal activity. That is not the best practice. We see what is happening in Dominica, we see what is happening in the region, and we're seeing what is happening worldwide on our TVs and our tablets. The best way and the most fundamental way in preventing things from happening and to help to stop things from happening is to talk about it. You may have issues of confidentiality. There must be a police you can confide in. There's no excuse about that. There is Crime Stoppers. You have the clergy, you have the doctors, you have the pastors, you have the school teachers and the school principals, and you have the technocrats, you have the politicians. There must be somebody you can confide in this country that you can pass the intel to. we will make it available to the police. And that is my cry. We've seen it's a worldwide phenomenon now that people, citizens, visitors, whoever they are, do not want to speak and volunteer information in relation to criminal activity. That is not the best practice. We see what is happening in Dominica, we see what is happening in the region, and we're seeing what is happening worldwide on our TVs and our tablets. The best way and the most fundamental way in preventing things from happening and to help to stop things from happening is to talk about it. You may have issues of confidentiality. There must be a police you can confide in. There is no excuse about that. There is Crime Stoppers. You have the clergy, you have the doctors, you have the pastors, you have the school teachers and the school principals, and you have the technocrats, you have the politicians. There must be somebody you can confide in this country that you can pass the intel to, who will make it available to the police. And that is my cry.
Can do it in the proper and approved manner.
How concerned are you, sir, about what seemed to be a series of road fatalities, traffic accidents? How concerned are you about that?
Well, of course, like everybody else, including you, I am concerned, and I'm sure the police department as well is concerned with respect to the regular frequency with road fatalities and, of course, other major accidents. What I would say, though, Matt, is that every driver, every rider has a responsibility for his safety or the safety of others. That we have to get that clear. Notwithstanding the verbal assaults that are being unleashed on the police department, on your talk show, and other talk shows, and that we anticipate, that we can live with. We understand what comes of, but we believe sometimes, indeed, it is really unfair. The police, given the resources, will continue to do what it has to do with respect to the mandate, whether traffic regulations or other forms of upholding the law. But you would agree with me, Matt, that every driver, every rider has a responsibility. I am saying so in that a motorcyclist picks up his motorcycle and decides to from point A to point B. He knows very well, and I would believe that he knows, or he ought to know, that should he ride without a headgear or helmet, as it were, the possibility, the probability, the risks of getting into accidents and may cause fatality or very serious injury, it's very likely. The risks are high, and that rider, that motorcyclist, has a responsibility, in my opinion. Yes, the police will encourage, as we have continued to encourage, drivers, whether drivers or riders, with respect to upholding the traffic regulations. Many people have been brought to the courts. I know the court have its part to play with respect to dispensing justice and probably not giving a slap on the wrists, but of course that has to be tempered as well with taking all the circumstances into consideration. But I want to ask a question, as you have posed that to me as well. Are we as drivers or riders invincible? A rider, is he invincible? We see how they move around on the streets in Roseau particularly. They travel on the right, they overtake on the left. If they get a chance, they probably might even ride over your vehicle. They go in the center, they're ready to crush down, especially the elderly or the little ones. They think that they're in the command of the road. Of course, the police will stop, the police will catch some. Like one caller said just a while ago, that the police can't be everywhere at the same time. We are doing our best given the circumstances. And some people, and I know they've called your session, one prominent person whom I recognize very well, said that the police must be blamed for the young man who died 2 weeks ago. I believe indeed, whilst it's probably his opinion, but I really beg to grossly differ with him, because when this motorcyclists know that when they're wheeling the bike or scrambling the bike, as we say in our local palace, he must understand, especially when he's doing it without headgear or without helmet, he is very likely to slam into wall or whatever it is and damage himself or kill himself. Do we blame the police for that? Can the police be everywhere at the same time? I'm saying, Matt, by virtue of what I've just said there to you, that we as drivers and motorcyclists, we have a responsibility. And as such, if we do not obey the law, if we do not fulfill the law, the obligations, there are consequences for our actions.
But would you admit, though, Mr. Weeks, while you, of course, speak to this motorcyclist, that the police themselves are not tough enough
on this motorcyclists who seem to be riding without helmets, and they seem to be everywhere.
Right. It's a perception, not only from you, but from the general public. There's always room for improvement, not only in the police department, but all organizations. And yes, there ought to be, in my opinion, as a policeman, as a senior policeman, to be a bit more robust. Yes, we continue our patrols on the streets and the mobile patrols as well. And we can't be everywhere at the same time. Notwithstanding that we have to enforce the laws and to ensure that people secure themselves. But I would also argue very vociferously that at the same time too, that rider who decides not to put his helmet, who decides to wheel the bike in the air, and the blatant, flippant disregard for the law, and he goes and he damages himself, and then you blame the police. So I think let us look at it very objectively. While on the other hand, there ought to be room for improvement, and we probably ought to be more robust in ensuring that the implementation of the law and all of this, and the courts have its part to play. But do you agree with me as well that the rider or driver, as it were, has a responsibility for his security and his life?
The discipline level in the police force is going down progressively. We must set the example. We must be above reproach. The selection and recruitment process must be reviewed. Tell them I say so. The moral of the police department is progressively getting lower. As I said, the discipline. Now, as I come on discipline with regard to the police force, one of the striking issues of the police force in relation to discipline or infractions that may be caused on the public, abuse or whatever, is the issue of this chronic, painstaking, laborious nonsense tribunal. What I'm trying to say is that if a policeman does something that's wrong, whether internally or externally, there should be a way in the police force, some kind of mechanism to deal with it expeditiously. So what you have is this lagging and delaying and all kinds of things, but the policeman is still working and he has done something wrong. He's not being dealt with expeditiously. In other words, we are accountable to the citizenry, and because we are custodians of the law, and because we must be above reproach, and because we must set the example, it must be seen that we are doing something quickly to arresting bad behavior and anything. And Mr. Irish, who is an officer, can tell the commissioner I say so tomorrow and he can dismiss me. It's the truth. It is the truth. You talk about drugs and so on. In every organization, have VDEG. Every organization. Every organization, whether in ministry there, whether in your office there, Mr. Bianzin saying inside of the church, you think the church perfect? You think the church perfect then? You think the pastor perfect or the last foot soldier perfect then? You think the policeman perfect, the fireman? All of us have issues. I am saying that the issues must be addressed and addressed promptly. When you catch them, you must jail them. You must deal with them. I am a professional public prosecutor. If I have to prosecute, if my life has to go is making a contribution, that's fine. I must be part of an organization that is seemingly clean. The public expect us to be clean. You cannot be arresting people for drugs or saying, giving people for ticket for thing, but you break in the ticket clear. You ought not to do it. It's wrong. And I'm saying the police high command, when reports, so you bring a report on Claude Weeks for X, Y, and Z, I must be investigated. Don't you just make a note and then business as usual. Sometimes these are the people who get promoted. These are the people who are acknowledged. So I'm saying rogue cops, whether in the Dominica Police Force or wherever globally, they must be dealt with robustly. They have to be punished, of course. I must hasten to say, there must be evidence. It's one thing to say X, Y, and Z, and that's why we've been talking a lot to break the culture of silence. So if a policeman is involved in drugs, just as we're trying to bash down those heavy dons, we call them dons in Jamaica, and we'll say Papa here, The same way if it has Papa in the police force must identify, bring it and come and testify. It should come and testify. We are only opening our mouths and shouting, yes, the police is in that. Yes, the police, but come and let us deal with them to get out. Because why? Because I'm inside. I'm at risk as well. Thank you.
Mr. Andrew, you are the second.
Well, let's see if we can continue with the 5 minutes we have remaining there. We'll take a few more phone calls and we'll rub it out. Roll out there, they say. It appears, Mr. Commissioner, there is help right within your police force. So start within the police service and try to get the help there. Let's get all the heads there in the police service together. Have a serious brainstorm and honest conversation. So let's start it there, huh? We have a few more minutes and then we'll wrap up. Hello.
This man can handle the English language.
Thank you. I'm saying that there are still serious police officers within the police force or service that can assist. Are you prepared and ready to listen, sir? Again, before I go, I just want to bring you an update on the weather there. It appears we will get some rain. Seen some of that in the south already.
Meteorological Service at the Douglas Charles Airport for today, Wednesday, June the 28th, as recorded at 12 noon. The weather conditions at Douglas Charles were partly cloudy and hazy. The surface winds were coming from the east at 11 knots or 20 kilometers per hour. The air temperature was 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. At the Cairnfield Airport, the weather conditions were cloudy and hazy with adjacent showers. The surface winds were coming from the east-southeast at 7 knots or 13 kilometers per hour. The air temperature was 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. The weather outlook for Dominica and the Lesser Antilles. Moisture and instability associated with a westward moving tropical wave will generate cloudiness, shower, and thunderstorm activity across the area during today into Thursday. Residents in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks are advised to be vigilant and to exercise caution. Moderate seas are expected during the next 24 hours, with waves peaking near 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to continue to exercise caution. The synopsis: a tropical wave is affecting the region. The weather for this afternoon and tonight is expected to be cloudy, hazy and breezy, with showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. The winds will come from the east-northeast through to the east-southeast at 20 to 40 kilometers per hour, with higher gusts. The sea conditions will be moderate in open water, with waves of 2 to 2.5 meters or 7 to 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea beavers, particularly on the eastern coast, are advised to exercise caution. For up-to-date information on weather conditions, feel free to visit our website at www.weather.gov.dm or call our weather hotline at 447-5555. From the Med Office at the Douglas Charles Airport, I am Karen Basil Lawrence.
Thank you, Carol Basil Lawrence. At this time, we join Flo for the Flow Hour. Stick around. We'll continue to talk tomorrow. Being told that later this week we may have a senior counsel in studios Friday morning talking about the election reform. Let me just allow you to think about who that might be. We'll continue to talk tomorrow. Stick around.
What's going on? Your boy Mystic, we're back in the building, we're back on the block, representing the most advanced, the most reliable telecommunication network in Dominica. Of course, you know already. This is how we flow. We're in the building right here, man. Your boy Mystic, we're chilling. I've got a wonderful